Now, often you say we have a House of Representatives, that our MPs are reflective and our government is made up of people who, through the MMP system, reflect pretty well who we are, that they're a kind of mirror to us or a microcosm of us. But some new research suggests they're not quite the same as us. In fact, they're a little bit maybe better than us, depending on how you measure better. It's a great survey, I think, or a survey of MPs done by Blackland PR. And you would have heard Mark Blackham on the program before. He joins us now to talk about what they've been looking at. Mark, how are you?
Hi, Sean. Very good, thank you.
All right. So you set out to try and find how educated our MPs were and how that matched up with the general population, right?
Well, yes, that, and we looked at their careers, the jobs they've been in before they reached Parliament.
All right. Well, firstly, just big, broad question. Does your research show that our MPs, our Parliament, is representative of us?
Oh, no, it's not representative in the sense of being similar to. No, not at all. I'm not sure it ever has been, to be fair. It's always attracted a particular type of person, and people from a walk of life that you wouldn't say represented the public. Whether that's a good or bad thing in a democracy, I don't know, but they are not representative. They are more highly qualified. They come from a better home life, or should I say a wealthier home life. They've been to the better schools. They went to university, 85% of them, and they've worked in office jobs, well-paid office jobs, before they got to Parliament.
So they're elitist, basically. They are the upper class. They are the better people.
They are I'm not sure. I'm not sure they're the better people, but they're certainly the wealthier. And that is in the main. Remember, there's I think there were 10 MPs who went to school under Decile 3 high school. But there was most of them, on average, were at a high school that was Decile 7 or above. And in fact, 35% of them went to private or integrated schools. That's compared to, I think, around about 12% of the population.
So double representation of private schools. 68% of them hold at least one university degree, Mark. How does that compare with the general population?
Well, the general population, I think, I don't know about you, Sean, but in the circles we move, most people have been to university, and so you begin to think it's the common thing because you're surrounded by that. That's right, but it's not true. Only 25% of the population have a tertiary qualification, which includes polytechs or something like that. But only 11% of New Zealanders have a university qualification.
So that's nearly 6 or 7 times university qualification in Parliament. Wow, that's quite a disparity. Is that similar? But hang on. Let's just ask the question. Is that similar to other comparable democracies, other comparable countries or not? Is this, are we super elite or not?
That's a very good question. It is similar to Australia, where it's about 76%, so we're a bit less qualified than the Australians. But it's less. It's also less in the UK, which is 85%, and less in the US. 95% of them have a university degree. Well, I'll tell you something, Sean. What is perhaps a little bit different is that we have far more postgraduate qualifications. There's 8 PhDs. There's 33 masters and diplomas, which is about the same as Australia, a little bit higher than Australia, but it's way more than places like the US and the UK. So I've been wondering why it is that people with postgraduate degrees can't go and do other work and have to end up in Parliament. In New Zealand, have to end up in Parliament.
You're a doctor and you're bloody just sitting on the back benches. Hey, Mark, is there... Okay, so I think we're established. We have got a Parliament which is, I guess, more pointy-headed as because I didn't go to varsity. I'm allowed to say stuff like that. That's not scientific. We got more pointy heads in our Parliament than the general population. Is there any particular party that is more elitist in educational achievement than any other?
No, that is fairly common across all the parties, and I think that's the important thing to note here, apart from Maori Party.
Yeah, what's the story with the Maori Party?
Well, they don't have those qualifications. They've got life qualifications, I would hasten to add, but I think it's only one or two of them they've got a tertiary qualification.
Yeah, but that's colonialism, isn't it, mate? That's systemic racism and post-colonial oppression.
Maybe so. Either way, there is a great difference. You don't see any of those differences socioeconomic backgrounds amongst the other parties. You might expect Labor to have more working class. You might expect Greens to have, but no, they're all very, very similar. They all went to university together. They might have been on different sides, but they were there together.
All right, they all went to... And the university that most of them went to?
You got me there, actually.
I think it's Auckland. I think more of them went to Auckland than anywhere else, which is one of the more woke universities.
Okay. To be fair, that would have been, for most of them, 10 to 20 years ago, when it was perhaps less
woke. Yeah, okay. Now, look, the other really interesting thing, and I just love this if people do believe in class because it just fulfills everyone's preconceptions. What secondary school has the most MPs?
I think we're talking about Auckland Grammar there, yeah.
No, King's College.
King's College.
7 ex-pupils in the current parliament. Auckland Grammar has 3.
Yeah.
Quite amazing.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
We couldn't count all of them. Not all of them gave away their high school or backgrounds or university.
Are we sure that all of them went to high school?
I think we've got a couple who perhaps didn't. Or dropped out early. But,
and we've got a couple of refugee MPs who may not have been through entirely.
That's right.
Ricardo Mendes March. Yeah.
It is a mixed bag, but tends towards the more privileged.
Okay. So look, back to the general, Mark. We have, and I suppose in some ways it's not a bad thing, we have a well-educated parliament by comparison with the rest of the country.
Yes.
Okay, and they are well educated in the arts, is it, and social sciences?
I think we're talking half of the people who got a qualification are arts, humanities, or law.
Law, and law is a good thing to have as a parliamentarian because you're making laws, aren't you?
You would kind of expect an interest in law. That's right. But from the other side, I guess you would say the arts and humanities are definitely overrepresented.